So these situations are presented to you by life simply so that you do have a learning experience. It's just seeing these situations for what they are. It can be very intimidating at times to find out things about yourself that you really don't want to face, because a lot of people have a fair amount of self-hatred. Whether they want to admit it or not, a lot of people do have this self-hatred. And when they don't face that self-hatred, they tend to take it out on others. They tend to blame it on different aspects of their life, on different influences in their life. They'll try to externalize the blame for whatever they're feeling in their lives. I mean, I've done it myself. You get in a negative state, so you look for someone or something to blame. I'm feeling bad like this because of the way my ex-wife treated me, or I'm feeling bad like this because of whatever. I mean, but you'll find that what they're doing is simply providing you with information about yourself that you probably may not want to face. So you need to face this information in these times. You need to look at these times as an opportunity to get to know yourself a little bit better. Every moment in your life is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to improve your life. And you need to look at it that way. Even with what I was talking about before, with Codex Alimentarius and Bill HR875, this is a great opportunity for the human race to collectively get off their butts and stand up for what's right. It's a fantastic opportunity. That's why I believe that everything always is the way it should be. There is no negative information. This is a great opportunity for human beings to actually unite and to realize their connection to each other. Without things like this happening in the world, well, we'd just be plodding along thinking that we have to keep up with the Joneses and that we're all divided and that there's differences between each other, when really there isn't. So you've got to look at this stuff. It's a great opportunity, folks, and we need to embrace these type of opportunities. We need to stand up and we need to make noise about them, and we need to discover who we really are. We need to put humanity back on the right path. And without negative things like this happening, well, we wouldn't have the opportunity to do that. So in many ways, it's a blessing, and we need to embrace it, and we need to act upon it. Most importantly, we need to act upon it. And that's another very empowering way to look at things, folks. If you can look at these things and see them for what they really are in the whole scale of things, look at the bigger picture. Always look at the bigger picture. Realize that when these sort of situations present themselves, they are wonderful opportunities for humanity to discover who we really are. And that's what's important, folks. That's what it's all about. That's one of the main reasons that we're here, is to gather these type of experiences, because without these type of experiences, well, there's no learning, is there? It takes both sides of the coin, folks. You need to have the negative so that you can have the positive. There's a reason for everything. And the reason is human experience, and the reason is so that the collective consciousness can grow. So folks, that's the way you've got to look at this stuff, and I'm by no means saying that you need to sit there passively and say, well, we're going to think the New World Order out of existence, and we're going to sit there and we're going to be all lovey-dovey and put flowers in our hair and the world's going to change. It's not going to change unless you act, but you've got to look at it as an opportunity to act. This is why these sorts of situations come up in our life, folks, because sometimes, we're wonderful beings, but sometimes we need a little bit of a prompt. And so these sort of situations arise simply because that's what we needed to happen. But make no mistake about it, folks, it is an opportunity. And make no mistake about the fact that we currently live in a very, very dangerous time. And all the pieces are now in place for another global catastrophe, such as 9/11, to be staged. I believe the controlled demolition of the global economy, such as we are witnessing right now, is such an event. Because when people start losing everything, then they're going to get angry. And the anger is going to spill over onto the streets, and it's going to spring new laws into effect, and it's going to lock down Western civilization populations and allow our government pretty well to have open slather to wage war against humanity. The media is refusing to acknowledge or report any of these issues. The last thing you can expect from the media is anything factual. So therefore, it's up to each of us individually to educate those that we come in contact with. to the reality of the situation that our world is facing. Because once people are awakened to this situation, we can take steps to rectify it. And it's an unfortunate reality that without a large number of the population becoming aware of the future that we're facing, the path to freedom for humanity becomes a very, very long one. Now, folks, this fact alone places an urgent responsibility upon each of us to spread the information we have as far as each of us can reach. And to those who do attack you, well, and those who attack me, and people who continue to attack those of us who speak out and still question these things, those people who are so opposed to factual evidence, who continue to attack those of us who still question and speak out for freedom. Those people who are truly addicted to delusions and who persist in the perpetuation of the myths that have been promoted by our governments and quite irresponsibly prolonged by the dominant media. These people would do well to find a more appropriate outlet for their paranoia. And at a less serious time, we might tolerate such apathy from people or such social blindness with amused detachment. But due to the treachery that is now being perpetrated against humanity, due to the treachery that was perpetrated against us on September the 11th, 2001, and the subsequent invasions, the war crimes, the crimes against humanity, and the acts of environmental vandalism that have since occurred, and the removal of personal freedoms that have since occurred, well, the situation the world is now facing has become far too serious for us to allow such frivolous self-indulgence by these people to go unchallenged by the collective voice of humanity. The time to act is now, folks. All that is required for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing. So don't do nothing, folks. See it as an opportunity. Embrace it. Stay in a state of love. It's just information, and it's an opportunity for humanity to fix itself. And we need to embrace the opportunity. Don't waste it. Well, folks, it's getting close to the end of the show. I'd like to say thank you to those people who did donate to the website in the last 2 weeks. Without your help and support, I certainly would not be here again today. So I do sincerely thank you for your help and for enabling me to continue getting this message out to people. It's been a blessing, it really has, that you came through when I needed you. And as a final word, I'd like to say something that I've said many times before, and that is to live in love, my friends. Do what is right in all that you do. Do not profit from each other. Do not fight amongst yourselves over worthless material trinketry. Don't hate your enemies. Just stand by each other and regain your connection to life. Stand up and say no en masse, and the matrix crumbles. Or you can choose to stay asleep and live in a prison of your own making. Ultimately, the choice is yours, folks. We live in a very remarkable time in history, and there are big changes coming to this planet and to our entire species, and the choice of how you choose to embrace these changes is up to you. Well, thanks for listening to this show. It's been a pleasure, as it always is. Do visit the website, thecrowhouse.com, and I will speak to you again next week. Goodbye for now. Take care.